Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is Ric Bucher exposes how ESPN exploits athletes. So that's the topic I'm going to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. We've done numerous videos on ESPN, and it seems like people have been receptive to some of the thoughts and opinions that we put out regarding ESPN and some of the things that that they do. We've done some videos that were primarily focused on Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins. I've said this on numerous occasions. I've said that I believe that they look at athletes as a vehicle to make money, and they'll say any and everything to ensure that that stays the same, right? I've spoken about how Stephen A. Smith goes at Kawhi Leonard unnecessary, lies about the guy on TV, right? Talks about he's not a great teammate. We've done videos exposing this stuff, that he's just on there lying, saying pretty much whatever he wants about the guy. Most of the stuff that he says about Kawhi Leonard is not true. Most of it doesn't matter. Talking about the Clippers should be worried about signing him up. Nobody was listening to Stephen A. Smith. Nobody cared what he thought. Clippers still re-signed him. Nobody's looking at you, right? You're the only person that would advise a team to not sign a top 5 player in the NBA. You're the only one, right? So I've said this, right? Now, yesterday, I was listening to Speak for Yourself, which features Marcellus Wiley, Emmanuel Acho, and now Ric Bucher. And Ric Bucher made some interesting comments. But before I get into his comments, I want to quickly say this. Ric Bucher, who I think he does a good job. Sometimes a little bit critical, but I like him. He used to work at ESPN. Most of these guys used to work at ESPN. Marcellus Wiley, Skip Bayless, and at one point Shannon Sharp was there. He used to work at ESPN, so he understands exactly how that company butters his bread, right? And he was talking about the comments that Kevin Durant made as far as addressing critics after they won the Olympic gold. He did a video, I think he recorded on his phone. He was like, yo, how y'all gonna doubt these skills? Come on, the skills is unmatched and all of these different things. And then Draymond Green hops in and he calls out Kendrick Perkins, saying, Kendrick Perkins, you talk a lot of bleep and blah, 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 right? So essentially, this is what Ric Bucher was talking about. So before I go too far, I want you guys to take a listen to some of his thoughts and what he feels as if ESPN ultimately is trying to achieve. So take a listen to some of the things that he had to say in the soundbite here. Take a listen to that.
To happen again. And let's face it, we're not just talking about the critics, because there was one particular name that was mentioned in that live stream. We didn't have it in the clip, but it was Kendrick Perkins.
That's my dog, Slick.
And KD and Draymond Green might as well have hung a gold medal around Kendrick Perkins' neck and said, here's one for you too. Because they basically pulled him up on the platform and made him part of this. And Perk literally crowed about it afterward. I am so thankful that my name and my personage was the first thing you guys thought of after you won a gold medal. So I don't know that what KD was after is what he ultimately accomplished, because he gave Perk a gift. Because I will tell you, and you both know this from the employer that currently employs Perk, they love that. Like, we're going to see more of Perk as a result of that. It wasn't about being right or wrong. It was being recognized, and that's what KD did.
Now, in that soundbite, Ric Bucher says a few things, right? He says that, listen, basically Kevin Durant is always playing into the hands of these guys. He's always given them content because he always responds to them. He says ultimately that's their goal. Their goal is not to be correct on things. It's not about being right or being wrong. It's about gaining attention. As long as it gets attention, that's all that matters. Remember, Stephen A. Smith had the video where he said, I wake up in the morning, the first thing I think of is how do I make my bosses money? And then the second thing I think of is how do I make myself some more money? Well, with that type of predisposition, you're going to say some things and do some things and try to do anything that you can in order to make money. And if it means tearing down a few players' names in the process, so be it. And that's what he's done, right? But what I think was interesting is that Ric Bucher, who used to work there, and he says that's what they like. What's interesting is he's the one that's saying it. It's not me. It's not somebody else. This is a person that used to work there, that knows exactly how the game goes. And he's the one that's saying this. And he's saying by you saying these guys' names, you're giving them more ammunition to talk about you. You're giving them more credibility. And I think that's one of the things, as I said before and I'll say it again, is one of the things that Kawhi Leonard has done masterfully. And listen, ESPN seems to be targeting Kawhi Leonard. First, it's been Stephen A. Smith with his stupid takes. Then it was Kendrick Perkins with his even dumber takes. And the funniest thing about it is Kawhi Leonard is not even on social media. The guy doesn't talk. You can't pull up a quote from this guy. You can probably pull up 10 quotes from Kawhi Leonard that really matter over the last 2 years. Probably 10. The guy doesn't talk. But yet and still, they spend so much time talking about him. Eventually, what's going to happen is Stephen A. Smith is going to run into a wall. Because he's going to keep talking and talking and talking and talking, but the guy you're talking to is not talking back to you. And at the end, you're just going to look crazy. Like, remember, it takes two people to make a fight, to have an argument. You just can't fight on your own. You just can't see a person on the street arguing with himself. If he's not arguing with anybody, you just look crazy. Kawhi Leonard's not going to respond to you. And I'll never forget the day when Kawhi Leonard said, I think it was during the playoffs or something, he said, I had no idea we were being criticized. I had no idea what was going on in the outside world. I didn't even know people were saying these things about it. And it was Stephen A. Smith was on that show at the time, and Stephen A. Smith looked so hurt. He was like, damn, all of these things that I'm saying, this guy's not even hearing it. Yeah, he's not even hearing it. Players like Kawhi Leonard ignore him, ignore these people. But Kevin Durant kind of plays into it. And the more you play into it, the more they're able to take advantage of you. I said this before and I'll say it again. If you look at the career of LeBron James, as far as it pertains to ESPN or in media in generally, it's like this. 1 year is the best thing since sliced bread. The next year he's done. Right? Then the guy that they prop up, the next year he's trash. 2 years ago, Kawhi Leonard was the man. Kendrick Perkins was calling him the next Jordan. Now he's the sneaky dude. He's a snake. And this is what they do. This is how they have to get attention. And I just think it's brilliant that Ric Bucher is the one to point this out. And he's the one to basically say, hey, listen, this is the game that they play. This is the game that they play. And you fell victim for it. Because by you mentioning his name, you gave him the validation. And now they can go right back at you and continue this thing. And as long as it's doing that, it's creating more drama. It's making more money. Whether or not the premise of the argument has any truth or validity, that's not important. As long as it's getting the attention. And I'm thankful that he was able to point that out. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about Ric Bucher perfectly summarizing exactly what I've been saying? What are your thoughts on what he said? What are your thoughts on what I've been saying? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamers Pro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.